What's up, people of the Nerd Kingdom? It's your boy Nerd King here. So, Justice League. How is it? It was good. No, it was bad. Ah, congratulations, DC. You have a way to really split right down the middle your fans when you come to making a movie. And once again, you have expertly done that. Now, I can say this as a Justice League fan, I was okay with this movie. As a DC fan, I was okay with this movie. As a movie fan, eh, was it a good movie? Eh, it was, at its heart, it was just a base hit. It was a base hit. Not, not even. I would say it's a foul ball. It was a foul ball. They hit the ball, but they didn't land the ball. It kind of just went off to the side. Let me explain it. This movie, and you've probably heard this a lot if you watch a lot of Justice League reviews and things like that, and you're trying to get like a really, really solid picture on how this movie is critically received. I would say this, the Rotten Tomatoes score, I'd give it higher. It's not a 47% movie. This is not a 47% movie. This isn't a 50% movie. I would say this is a fresh movie. It's like a 60, there's a 60, 62, 63, something like that. It's nowhere near Wonder Woman good. Wonder Woman is a phenomenal film, and it's gonna take a lot to make that again happen in a DC movie. We have over here's the good stuff, and then over here is the bad stuff. Does the bad outweigh the good? No. No, the good does outweigh the bad. This is a fine movie that introduces characters, sets up a story, and then you're gonna have to wait until the next movie to see where it goes. This, unlike Avengers, which had like 2.5 hours to develop everything, and also they had a bunch of origin story movies beforehand, so you really didn't have to set up who these people were. Every character had already been introduced except for Hawkeye, who was barely in the first one. But every character had already had their own movie. Even Hulk, even though that was Universal. And very confusing in the timeline. Anyways, Batman had a semi-introduction. Superman had 2 films. Superman is barely in the movie. Gets like 20 minutes of screen time. Wonder Woman had a lot of setup in her movie, so that's good. So I can understand not too much focus on them, except wait, there's a lot of focus on Batman trying to redeem himself after Superman. Because he blames himself for Superman. I mean, there's this whole subplot with the mother box. I'm not going to get into it because it's spoilers, but there's this whole subplot that comes into it, like how they bring back, how Superman comes back. There's a whole like separate kind of, that's the problem that the team faces is, do we bring back Superman? Do we not bring back Superman? this movie is so rushed, by the way. It's really hard to talk about this film and the things that happen in this film without spoiling something about this movie. So let's talk about some of the highlights for this film. The Flash. Ezra Miller as the Flash, brilliant. Great. Solid. He's hilarious. So, I mean, I can't wait to see him in his movie. Even if it's Flashpoint. Aquaman. Really good performance by Jason Momoa. Looking forward to Aquaman a lot more. I like his take on it. He's very cocky. Kind of cool. And he's a badass. He does some pretty cool fight stuff with Steppenwolf. So, Cyborg. I can't really judge Cyborg because unfortunately, Cyborg really doesn't have a lot to do in this movie. I mean, he's integral to the plot, but he's kind of like how to put it? He'd be like, so there's this caricature of a character where the character is literally there just to do stuff. He has really no character to him whatsoever, except that he's got to do stuff. I hate these characters. I hate these characters because they're just thrown in there and they're just to do stuff. The actor's fine. It's his first movie, so he's fine. And he does fine as Cyborg, but I really think I don't know if it was Whedon, I don't know if it was Snyder, or the actual story writer for this film. They really didn't understand Cyborg. They made Cyborg like this serious character. Like, no, I'm not talking like, oh, he's a big character. I'm talking serious in tone. Now, I guess when you have Batman and Aquaman both, or sorry, not Batman, Flash and Aquaman both joking around, I guess Cyborg joking around too would be too much, and it'd be too, everybody's joking around. I have to say this. I would rather seen Aquaman as the serious character, because he's supposed to be the serious character, and Cyborg as the guy who jokes around with Flash. Because the only time I've seen Cyborg as this uber serious character is in two things. One, he's pretty uber serious in the Injustice world. And then two, and I'm talking the Injustice Cyborg, not our world Cyborg. And then two, Flashpoint Cyborg is pretty serious too. But that's because he has to be. Cyborg is supposed to be witty and the one-liners and one-cracks and everything. And he really doesn't have that in this film, unfortunately. He kind of just is there to do stuff. Now, Cyborg can be, like, sad. I mean, he is kind of new to this whole Cyborg thing. So, I don't know if... Because... I don't know if they're going to, like, give him more wittiness in the sequel. I hope so. I really hope so. I hope in, like, something with him in it. Woo. Yay. I'm hoping something with him in it. He can be more witty, more Cyborg. Because, I mean, a lot of people my age, at least, have Teen Titans to go off of for Cyborg. And, yeah, Cyborg cracks jokes, and his catchphrase is, "Booyah!" That's just... Okay, let's talk about the downsides. One, too short. I know Warner Brothers is not trying to make a long superhero movie, and I know a lot of people are tired of long superhero movies, but this is something that you needed to do less stuff in 2 hours, or you need to make it longer so everything flowed better. This movie is extremely rushed. Like, it starts and then it's over. And you're just like, huh? There is hardly any slowdown to this film. And it is, in some movies, that's okay. You can have like a start to finish movie and it can be work and it can work. Dunkirk, a movie that came out in July by Christopher Nolan, is a start to finish 2-hour film. And it is brilliant. Because it expertly tells 3 different stories. Each could be their own movie, but they blend so well together, and that is what you need. You need blending. You don't have blend. What you have is this Batman is doing this, and then, oh, here's over there. Oh, this is happening. Oh, that's happening. Oh, this, over. Now, there are the rumors out there that Zack Snyder's cut was finished. And then, of course, there was the rumor that Zack Snyder's cut of the film was about 3.5 hours long. Warner Brothers has come out and said there is no Zack Snyder cut. I don't believe them. I really, really don't. There has to be one. Zack Snyder did finish the film. He finished the movie. He screened it for Warner Brothers. They brought Joss Whedon in to make corrections and then do reshoots. There is a Zack Snyder cut. Is it good? I don't know. I can't tell you. Could I say that a 3.5 hour cut might work? Yeah. I don't know if people are going to want a 3.5 hour cut, but it could work. It could tell everything that was wanted to be told by both directors, in all honesty. I'm not blaming Joss Whedon for this movie. This was a very, very... I'm trying to speak very carefully. Zack Snyder did the right thing when he stepped down. Joss Whedon came in, took what he could, had to deal with the mandate. Unfortunately, the mandate restricted Whedon from really doing anything except fluffing it a bit. Whedon simply kind of brightened it up and then just took a bunch of shots from Zack and just splashed. He's like, that's good, that's good, that's good, we'll reshoot that, that's good, that's good, that's good. I mean, there's so much of that of these trailers that aren't even there. the Comic-Con trailer that came out last year, that was like amazing. I was like, this is gonna be a good movie. Not half that stuff's not even in it. So let's talk about hidden credit scenes. There are two. One, not important. Don't even need to worry about it. It's the mid-credit scene. It's not important at all. It's about as important as the actual in-credit scene for Spider-Man Homecoming. It's just kind of funny. And then there is the in-credit scene. I gotta give it to Eisenberg on this one. He actually played Luthor correctly. He wasn't that angsty little boy anymore. He's not perfect, but he seemed a little more Michael Rosenbaum, and that's a solid base hit for Jesse Eisenberg. Because I think if people actually stayed, I don't know if they stayed, DC isn't really the biggest for after credit scenes, considering none of their movies have had an after credit scene so far. So it's like, I don't know if people actually stayed. Uh, uh, but yeah, I gotta give it to him. He did decent in his scene here, and I gotta say this: I was not sure. I was definitely like, I'm like, yeah, that's good casting, but are we sure we want to use him as the big bad in the Batman movie? And that, of course, is Joe Manganiello. And I butchered your last name. I'm so sorry, Joe. Love you in True Blood, by the way. Slade fucking Wilson. I gotta admit, that guy, that actor, looks like Slade Wilson. He took off his helmet, and I'm just like, that is awesome. Now, he's gonna have a tough shoes to fill because he's gonna have to fill the shoes of Manu Bennett. So, um, but that's it. Justice League. It's not perfect. It's not a base hit. It's a foul. It's a foul ball, but it's a decent foul ball. It's not like a walk-off foul ball. It's kind of like your first foul, and maybe you'll get your base hit or your home run in the next one. So there's definitely room to grow. I really hope they don't take this and go, hey, let's just say screw it and reboot in Flashpoint. I really hope they don't do that. So, anyways, score time. I rate mine on A to F scale, and I'm gonna give Justice League a B because I overall, as a comic book fan, I enjoyed this movie. I had a fun time with this movie. I recognize the flaws. This isn't like Star Wars Episode 1 when I saw it, and I was just like, oh, this movie's amazing. And then I watched it years later after I had not seen it for a few years and just going like, where was I when I saw this movie the first time? So it's like, but Justice League, very, very solid foul ball. I mean, I might even call it a bunt. It's that there's room. There's room to grow here. So don't need to reboot yet, but you need to make something better. Anyways, I'm the Nerd King. keep it nerdy.